did everybody die in that building? And it started to get easier to watch this documentary with her because she was starting to get our point of view. And I just share that because I was bringing her along to think, not from my cultural viewpoint. So that's that. When we talk about the strictly culture discovery, you have someone listening, you have someone telling the story. And how it gets interpreted and how they make sense of it all plays out. So then how do you take that and put this into this tool that we use? By the way, does everybody use the Strength Meets Culture Discovery tool in your CSAs? Yes? Can you for a minute just think about somebody that you know really well that's not related to you? And then can you just think about the first time you met that person? And how did you get to know that person as well? Can anybody share with me, like, how did you get to know this person that was a stranger that you now know well?
I met my now best friend. I joined a volleyball league because I wanted to meet more people. And she wasn't very good at volleyball, but wanted to meet more people too. And I said, hey, if you want to either come before or come after, I can kind of help you with that. She said, oh, that would be terrific. That would be great. And then she was like, we weren't that into the volleyball at that point. And then we started to walk around. So we started to meet before. And we would walk around a track outside the thing. And now we're best friends. And that was many, many years ago. But it was kind of, I reached out a little bit to say, like, hey, do you want to practice before or after? And then, then we walked around. And we still go for walks to this day. And we've become...
So you spend time together. You have mutual interests. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Yes, Mary?
Hopefully I'm not going to put her on the spot. But one of my very best friends in the world is sitting in the room, Aunt Moshe. And I remember exactly the first time we met. It was in October of 1985. And within a week of each other, I had started as area children's coordinator at Solomon Carter Fuller Mental Health Center in Boston, and Ann had started as regional children's director in Boston, and we were at a meeting at Brockton Multi-Service Center. I don't know if you remember that, Ann, but we were, and so we worked, and I think we just started getting to know each other, having lunch and whatever. And then when we went away for a weekend and found similar, that we had similar stories. And so we met at work, but we're just friends.
So it evolved.
It evolved over time.
And I think
time to share stories.
I think too, Natalie, just to add that it's like the volleyball, like Mary's a nature person, so she's the Audubon, so now I take the grandkids to the Audubon. She showed me about the Audubon. It's also opening up sort of new worlds to each other if you're friends, and you share certain things, and they share certain things, and I like things that she is learning about, and vice versa. So, and I think
it's sharing. It's
you share, yeah.
And the point of that, to connect it to the work in the Strength Meets Culture Discovery tool, is the richness of our understanding of a family isn't going to happen right away. It's going to take time. It's going to involve sharing, storytelling, maybe finding common interests, maybe teaching about something that you don't know. So it's an evolving document. Going now to operationalizing it in practical terms, how does that work at your CSA? How do you grow the document? Who's responsible for it? If we could have, are you, by the way, clustered by CSAs at your tables for the most part? If you want to just shout out so we can move things along, or do you want a few minutes to think about it as a CSA? Who writes the document? How do you update it? If it's a family partner that writes it, do you use this tool with transitional age youth? I know, right? That's a good one. Do you need a couple minutes to talk about it as a CSA? No? Just shout out? Let's just shout out then.
Family partner. That's the document.
Family partner, and that's the way we do it too. Now, do you use it with youth that aren't living with a caregiver?
Well, we have the kids that come to caregivers, so.
So if it's a transitional age youth, you do use it or not?
Would, I guess, yeah. But we don't have many kids who don't need it.
No, I'm saying, so the older youth that live with a
Oh, yes,
caregiver,
we do, yeah,
you
yes,
use the
yes, yes,
documents?
yes, yes. And it gets updated by the FD, and discussed during diets, every couple of months.
Every couple months?
Yeah, because we look at the file, so we have a question about the culture, we pull it up.
So that's how you track to make sure that it continues to evolve? And do you share it with the family? Does the family partner go out and let the
Yes.
family read it?
Present it back to them and the family reads over it, and if there's any discrepancies through that storytelling that didn't get transferred into the typed document, they make them edits to it and the family signs off on it, and then we do review it also for CPT meetings, and like the ICCs review it and we present it back to the family. If it is an older youth, they are participant in the actual process of writing of the SNCD tool, because it's as much their culture as it is the family's culture.
And when it's that older age youth, sorry to pick on you, you're so outspoken. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whose vision is it?
What's the family's vision? It's both, parents were involved and the youth as well.
We usually ask both,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes they're maintained as separate visions because the youth has a very individualized focused vision where usually the mom or the dad is like a family-oriented vision. But a lot of times we see the similarities in what the youth is saying for themselves and what the parent says that they see or want to see for the youth as well.
Does the ICC do a lot of those conversations with the youth in that scenario, or is it the family partner still doing the information gathering, instructing culture discovery, and having those
The
conversations?
care coordinator does that as well, yeah, for the mission, absolutely. We prep the family, but the family partner, it's an ongoing discussion that happens all the time with the family. And it's reviewed at CPT meetings, pre-CPT meetings, sort of where are we here? Are we still looking at that vision? Both the youth and the parents we question that to make sure that we are doing what we need to do, absolutely.
Do other CSAs do it similarly or different?
Yep.
I'm trying to understand though how a transitional age youth would have an FP, unless if they weren't in the household.
Well, that's what they're saying, is that their older youth tend to live with a
Okay.
caregiver, so
Okay.
that hasn't come up that often.
Okay.
But perhaps it's come up for you?
And
And
the
then do you
ICC would
use,
complete the SNCD.
the ICC conducts the strengthening culture
Yeah, the
discovery?
document would still have to be completed, so the care coordinator would complete it in working with the older youth.
Our agency, the ICCs are the ones in charge of the document, so we write it up and do it all with the help of the family partner, gathering the information with the family, but we take charge of it. It's our responsibility.
And then, so if it's a standalone, where you just have the family partner working with a different clinical hub, there wouldn't be a strengthening culture discovery?
I don't think so.
When they're required.
There is no, that's right, there is no mandate for this document to be used, it's just been taught to us to do high fidelity wraparound, this is the tool to use. Yeah,
So the ICC does how does that work when the family partner is the connected, most connected
In our
to the
agency,
parent?
ICC and FP are really just titles. One
Right,
is just
we
more
understand that.
responsible for doing more of the paperwork than the other. And we usually go out to visits together, and we do everything together for the most part. The only times that we tend to separate are if I have to, I have to do a concurrent, I can't go out to the visit. Or if there's a specific task separately that the family partner is working on or that I have to work on, depending on our caseloads or whatever it is that way. But we are in charge of the chart. It's the ICC's responsibility to make sure all the charts are in with everything on there. All the documents are up to date. So that's why they.
So are you saying that the ICC actually type the SND?
Yes. Yes.
So how is it that the family partner, would she, if he or she wanted to update this document, they would have to go to ICC and do it and get it?
They can go in. It's a working document, so they can go in. I mean, we're partners, and if there's a family that we are just doing an SSCD for, I always sit with her and I tell her, okay, I just finished writing this up. Can you go over it, make sure that I got everything the family said, because they were there as well. And if there's anything that needs to be added in, let me know, we'll fix it, and we work on it together. But it's my role and my responsibility to sit down and write the actual document.
And how do you make sure that it gets updated periodically, or do you?
We just update it depending on what changes there are on there. Any new, any information that was just revealed months after that we didn't know about, any new strengths that have just come up, anything new that the family has learned, but we usually update those more on the care plan than on the SNCD.
Right. So that's something that we could, yeah.
Can I ask other CSAs, when you're completing an SNCD, is it actually part of your comprehensive assessment, or is it a completely different document?
For the home, it's a different document.
I know you do.
So for our agency, it took over the comprehensive assessment.
We try to integrate the assessment with the camps and then the public.
But it's still 3 different documents.
3 different documents.
Same information.
How do you do that? What does that look like?
It looks like, so the family partner does the strength and policy document, and the intensive care coordinator does the assessment on the CAMs, and then we put them together to make sure that we're capturing all the information. And then the family partner, goes, and talks to the parents about it, shows them the document, goes through it, and